back to the channel. Got a couple things I want to share today, and just want to say that this is a new channel. It's I've only got a few videos out. I started this a little over a month ago, I think.
Who the fuck is this Cherry?
I haven't had time to, make videos every 3 hours, so it's going to take a little bit of time to get into a routine, and thinking of the content that I want to put out there. And I don't want to put out the same thing that every single person's putting out. And it seems like there are a lot of people putting out a lot of the same stuff. So I want to kind of find some different angles within that stuff. I mean, because playing's playing. I mean, we can't change, how the game's going. Hopefully we can change it to actually make more money. But until this point, it seems like it's going the same for everybody. I have two guitars I want to share today. One of them is Ibanez Jem, the white, with the gold. Everybody kind of knows that guitar if you like Steve Vai. And the other one is basically it's an Ibanez, but not really. It's just an Ibanez neck look-alike, It's a Chinese neck I bought for $75. Has a Tree of Life and it's maple neck. And I had no idea what this neck was going to be. When I bought the neck, I was thinking, oh man, it's going to be awesome. And then when it came in the mail 3 weeks later, I was like literally wanting to send it back. But the problem is that sending it back is not going to be as easy as getting it. You're going to have to wait. So I just said, you know what, $75. Let me try to fix this thing. So I'll go through all that when I have the guitar in my hands. I can actually show you, and you'll be able to see it. I wanted to have a guitar that would cover the bases for, just a regular, general, nothing high level cover tribute situation. And the Jem does great. It's a great guitar. But the other guitar actually is more usable. And when I continue the video, I'll have the guitars and I will show you why. Alright, see you in a second. I'm back. So, this is the Ibanez Jem.
Oh, geez, look at the butt on that.
Made in Japan. Awesome guitar. Gold hardware, Tree of Life. It's got the, I think this is ebony. It might be ebony. Could be rose, but I don't even remember. But Evolution pickups, DiMarzios. Great guitar. It has a really thin neck. The action is just, I don't know if you can see that on the camera. I'll try to, it's super low. It's comfortable for me to play that way. I don't like get on the guitar and, crank it so hard, man. The strings are just like literally getting ripped off the bridge. I don't play heavy like that. Very, very light player. I like a lot of the shreddy stuff. So, when you're into that type of music, you're gonna want your strings to be lower. At least most people will, because you can just get around on it. It's easier you don't have to press down so hard. And, I hear Ingve, he likes his action a bit high. I hear Nuno likes it a bit high. So, and there are those players that, they're zipping around all over the fretboard and they don't have low. But for me, and I think what most people like is they prefer that lower action. Anyway, why this guitar is not my main choice to go play covers is for two reasons. Obviously, stupid people, getting drunk and falling all over your shit. I protect my stuff really good, but I can tell you it still happens. And thankfully, none of it's happened to my stuff because I keep it out of the way where nobody's going to, fall all over it and be stupid. But that's the main thing. But the second thing is that this floating bridge, if you need the drop tune, bring down that low string, you're not gonna be able to do it. Floating bridges don't, when you go to lower it, they lose the tension and then you're all over the place. Second thing is if a string breaks, same situation, loses tension, and you're gonna be all over the place. Now you can put a a block in the back, or some of the little blocks they sell. You can attach it on the inside, and it'll prevent the tremolo from rocking back, and that will definitely get you through it. But if you want a full floating tremolo like this, where you back pull, down pull, you dive and pull up, I like it for that. Even though I don't use the tremolo much anymore, if hardly ever. But when I was using it, that was what I did. But that doesn't mean because I don't use it that I'm going to block this. I'm not going to touch this guitar. I'm going to keep everything as it is. And this guitar is basically perfect. You can tell on Jem's gold hardware, you look right in this area where your palm would be. You look in there, you can see that. There's no wear, just the slightest bit. And I think that really shows that this is a near perfect guitar. Now, I'm not selling this guitar, but if I ever do decide I want to sell it, it's not going to be cheap, because so far, out of all the ones I've seen, I think this one is one of the most perfect ones. I've seen a bunch on eBay, and man, they're going for a high dollar, and they're not in good shape. In my opinion, they're not in good shape. They look very used, so I like mine. Anyway, so this is not a great guitar for me to go playing out cover music. Now, if there's a show where there's separation between me and the audience, and I know it's going to be protected, yeah, then I'll bring it out and have fun. But not even for outdoor gigs. I don't have any interest in bringing a awesome guitar like this outside and having it ruined by the elements. I don't have that desire. So she's going to stay the way she is, and that's in a nice, safe environment, climate controlled, like my house. So it's really, for me, is I play it, but mainly I'm collecting it. So there's this guitar.
Alrighty then.
So this guitar.
Damn!
I get a lot more questions about this guitar than I do the Jem or any of my guitars. And I got some decent guitars like the Jem, and really cool stuff. And I still get more questions about this. One of the questions they ask is, what is it? They see Ibanez. But a guitar player knows they'll see the tree of life on a maple fretboard, and if you look, you don't see that on many of the Jems. Although this is not a Jem, it doesn't even have the monkey grip, and I didn't want to put one on here. I didn't want somebody to drill it, so I basically built this guitar. Not the wood. I didn't build this neck, but I definitely modified this neck by far. So basically, it was an older Ibanez. And the original neck on it had broke, and I don't know where the pickups went to it, and the electronics were, they were just garbage anyway. The volume and the treble, and this is a three-way switch. I like it set up this way a little bit better, actually. So basically, I got a PAF Pro and a Tone Zone, and I put on a Goto bridge because I was able to put on the drop tuner. So in a cover band situation, I can just pull that out. Now I'm drop tuned. Back in, I'm back. I'll look at the bass player. He's, tuning, doing his thing. I'm in and out, no problem at all. This is blocked off in the back on the inside. I will do it to this guitar because obviously I had to, build it in the first place. But what is a little different about this guitar is that obviously the neck and the little the Japanese writing that I put on the surface, which stands for these two, passion, these two, warfare. So it's just like my own little my personal nod to the Passion and Warfare. You know, Steve Vai, his legacy, something that, you know, kind of pays tribute to him. I forget the tuners, go-to tuners. Got these white pearloid up top, a little different from what you just in having black. Now the neck is from China. I think in the beginning I said that, and I paid $75 for it. Okay, but the neck was not in good. The frets were just, forget it. They were terrible. Not the ends were not in any way proper. This thing was a mess. So the shape of it is good. It's actually you can't really see it so much, but it's not thin like the Jem. It's thicker. It's almost like a D, a pretty thick D instead of a thin D, in between close to a C almost. Then right around 12th fret, it starts to thin out. Still not as thin as a Jem, but thinner, and it just feels real nice when you get in there. You're really not you're not struggling or hurting or anything. And when you're playing your chords up here, it just your cradles my hand, cradles me a little bit better, less fatigued. Now the only thing that I don't necessarily like about it, or I don't really hate it, but the neck, if you're going to get a Chinese neck, a lot of them you got to check are 42 millimeter, and the Jem is 43. So the radius on top, I think, can't remember. I think it's like a 14. I think. I'm not 100% sure. Looking at it, I can't really tell, but maybe 12, 14. Action's very low. It took a while to get the neck in a position where I actually felt like it was in the right spot, you know, just the angle of it to the body. So there's a lot of adjustments. I had to pull the frets out. I put new stainless steel frets in there. These were the biggest frets that I could find. They're pretty big. Not like this one guy on YouTube. He had, I mean, this dude's frets were like freaking almost the damn size of a nut. They were huge. I was like, yeah, that's like trying to scallop, you know, get that kind of, you know, the depth of a scallop, but, you know, with a fret that's, you know, high, very high, very tall. So this is the largest size that I could find, but that was mainly to guitar. I don't know what this guy used to look at railroad ties. I have no idea. So the guitar has such a. I sanded the neck down. I put True Oil on it instead of you know, painting it. It's just very smooth. Really feels good to play the guitar. The pickups. You know, I know there's some guys making videos of, you don't need to buy top dollar pickups to get a good sound because there's no evidence that, you know, pickups change the tone of the guitar. Yeah, that's cool and everything, and I'd agree with him, but certain pickups do change the way the guitar performs, the sound you're going to get, okay? A distortion pickup's going to give you more of a grindy sound, and a cleaner pickup's going to obviously cater to the clean tones. So there's, you know, pickups that'll give you a warmer tone, buttery. And if you're not cranking up your distortion to, you know, chainsaw level, then you're going to actually, when you pull back and dial back and clean up your tone, you're going to hear the guitar. You're going to hear more of that tone. So if we're only specifically talking about when you have you know, electric shock chainsaw level gain where everything just sounds like shit anyway. I mean, come on, you know, pickups mean something. The quality of the pickup. If you buy a pickup from for $10 out of China, look at the wiring and the way the thing's put together. Yeah, it might work and it may sound good, but is it going to last? So I go with the Marzios. I go with the Marzios and Seymour Duncans because I like the pickups. I've never had any issues with them. I have had some issues with cheaper pickups. I had a Bill Lawrence pickup, which wasn't cheap. I had some issues with that. But overall, I think these are great pickups. They sound good in the guitar, and it works for a cover band situation. It absolutely works, and it works better than the Jem. My heart's not going to be broken if anything tragically happens to this. But anyway, also I did paint the guitar, and I have some pro painting equipment, so I was able to get a decent paint job on this thing. This is a sticker. I didn't clear over it because I didn't feel like it. I put it on when it was basically the paint was like literally in the top was dry, but the inside not so much. And if you put your graphics down on top of that, they actually will set down in that paint. It's like they suck in, and it just levels out real nice. Almost because if you go to pull them off the guitar, you're going to end up taking paint with you. So they're on there. And it's this has like a purple pearl in the paint. I just wanted to be a little bit different, not something that Ibanez actually does with their guitars. And I've seen a lot of, what gave me ideas, I've seen so many cool custom built guitars. And I was just like, man, I'm going to build me something. I've done some modifying of some factory guitars, but I've never actually just took a body that basically didn't have anything in it and got a different kind of neck, because it is a different neck. This is not an Ibanez neck. A Chinese neck is going to be different. In the pocket, the heel, you're going to have to do some modifications. To put the go-to in there, I had to do a little bit of modification. So if you don't know anything about guitars and you're not familiar, you're not like handy and know how to paint and do certain things, yeah, you're going to have a rough go at it. You might want to get a couple of shitty practice guitars to tear apart and practice with. But, I mean, if you look at Eddie's guitar, the Frankenstein, I mean, it is what it is. But he sanded it and put some bicycle paint on it, made some stripes, and the guitar's a legend. So, I mean, don't let anything stop you. Just do it, man. If you want to spend a ton of money on a guitar, go for it. But if you're playing in a situation where you're playing some shit venues, it's probably not going to be a good idea to have it in there. You're going to somebody might want to try to steal it, and you get your drunk dancers, and they always seem to like find your microphone and fall into it. Which, if your microphone and your pedal board or whatever is going to be probably somewhere below or near it, and then it's just a complete mess. So always protect your gear. The venues ain't going to do shit for you when your stuff breaks. So always protect your gear. And it ain't worth what we get paid as musicians. It ain't worth it to bring your best shit out there and have it destroyed. For me personally, I'm not doing it. So anyway, I hope that was a little bit interesting for you. Just a comparison of two guitars. One that's maybe $400, and the other one, and that was with everything: paint, pickups, the go-to, tuners. I got stuff off of eBay, so I found good prices, but it was all new. None of it was used. I built something that I felt like was cool when I was building it. Now I'm like, I want something different. But I wouldn't buy a new guitar. I would not. The knowledge I gained from that, I would just make another one. I would make my own guitar, not an Ibanez. I would do a Fender style. So maybe that's going to be an upcoming video when I decide I want to embark on that task, because it's going to take you a little bit of time. When you're setting up a guitar, you want you want the frets to be right. It's got to feel right. The neck, the shape has to feel right. So, and I would just buy the parts. I would buy a body and I would buy a neck. But the neck, some of the necks are getting expensive. Some of the Warmouth necks and some of the other custom builders. So I'm still not opposed to a China neck now that I know what, they've gotten better at it though. I will say that. Some of the stuff you're going to get from them is actually a lot better than it was, especially when I bought that neck. But yeah, you're gonna want to spend some time with it, and you're gonna have to learn before you start, attacking certain things. You're gonna want to learn about it first, obviously. But anyway, just sharing those guitars with y'all, and I'll share some other stuff. I think in the next video, I might talk about how I trigger my backing tracks, break music, that sort of thing. and I'll share that with some folks if they're, even if it's just to have samples, something quick where you don't want to sit there and and everybody wants to run stuff off of their iPads these days. I say, I don't like that. I don't like that idea because I can do more with my laptop than you can with an iPad. I can see it a little bit better, and it's able to connect the MIDI controller to the laptop, and I'll trigger things that way. But we'll share that one. I'll get that worked up in the next episode. But please like, share, subscribe. Hope you enjoy my guitars, and I'll see you on the next one.